What's up guys, welcome back. As you can see, I'm away from home at the moment. I'm in a studio for about 7 to 8 days. This is my bunk, come have a look. It's a nice little area. I chose the bottom bunk by the window so that I've got sunlight and I'm not in a cave. Some of the other ones are just like caved out and no windows. And like in the morning I can like wind up the blinds a little bit and it won't disturb whoever's up above me. I've obviously brought some of my go-to things I usually bring with me, like a candle light for real light and a whole bag of goodies, as I call them, things that will better my health. So today I'm going to show you how to play with your breath, different ways to play with your breath to experience different things. In other words, people call it breath work, right? There's probably a ton of videos already. I just want to bash this one out so you just have it in a short video. The one I'm going to be doing today, the pranayama I'm going to be doing today, which is it's a word for breath work, if you will, is called Bhastrika, and it's quite intense. It's quite plosive. I mainly use it to clear my mind if it's busy, and to have quite a nice natural high. It's very good if you suffer from anxiety. It almost mimics an anxiety attack, but a controlled one, and you're fully in control of your breath, so it's quite a nice play. And it's also very good if you have a busy mind, or if you just want to experience a little bit of a trip, like a DMT. You just want to get a quick high if you're on supply. Let's get to it. First things first, you want to clear out your nose and find some sort of cushion or pillow type thing that you can sit on. So let's get this nose blown. Really blow each nostril. Trust me, you'll see later. So I'm gonna set up, there's not a crazy amount of space here. We're gonna have to make do with what we got. So I'm gonna put this down here. Amazing, here we go. So the way this works is, if you're flexible enough, sit on your knees, like so. It opens up your diaphragm, your thoracic. If you can't, you can sort of sit cross-legged, however you want to be. You can do it laying down too, or standing up, but if you're not used to sort of the breath retention, holding your breath, you can pass out if you don't control it right. But you learn, if you're trying this for the first time or the first few times, try it on the floor first, with preferably more pillows around you in case that happens. Sit on your knees if you can. You're gonna roll your shoulders back so you open all your chest up and your diaphragm. And what this is going to consist of is one really deep breath in the nose. So you want to breathe in 3 stages. The first stage is going to be filling up your stomach, then the chest, where the lungs are, sort of thing, and then the head. So one inhale through the nose would be, remember to expand your stomach first. Don't just breathe from the chest, because that's not a full breath. You want to take a full breath in, so like this, and then you're going to do what's called a breath of fire out, where you open your mouth quite wide, stick out your tongue, and you just blow out all of the air you have until there's no air left, and that involves pushing some more air out. You want to completely vacuum your system. So the first 2 stages looks like this. After that, it's so unsatisfying not taking a big breath in after that. After you've vacuumed your stomach, you want to take a massive inhale in the nose, like you did the first time, in 3 stages: stomach, chest, then head. And once you've done those 3, then you can start your explosive breathing through the nose, in the nose, out the nose. Go for it, go for it. Every time, cut it out. This breathing through the nose looks a bit like this. The pumping is coming straight from here. It's not, you don't want to be doing any of this. It's all coming from my stomach, so. Even the inhale, try this before you start. Do as hard of an inhale as you can in, and as hard of an exhale as you can out. And try not to do it like from the chest. So to start with, let's say you do about 12 or 15 of those breaths. Once you've done 12 to 15 of those breaths, you take a massive inhale in, just like we did at the beginning. So all the way till you can't breathe in anymore. You roll your shoulders back, stick your chest out, and you clench. You clench and you imagine, I don't know if anybody used to do this when they were a kid, but imagine you're making your face look like a tomato. You push all the blood to your head. That means all of the oxygenated blood is going to go straight to your brain, which then releases and triggers some of that natural DMT. You're clenching your head, but I'd also recommend trying to clench like your chest and your core. And for extra benefits, clench your bumhole, clench your rectum, your taint, if you will. You can either just hold it and just hold it tight at the same time as clenching everything else, or you can sort of do it in pulses like this. They sort of do different things for me. Commit to the pushing, commit to the squeezing. Just really squeeze, but just know if you start to feel a bit lightheaded, it's quite hard in the moment. This is why it's a practice. Just let the breath out. That's all we've got to do. Even at the end, regardless, you just, after you've done that, the next step would be just letting the breath come out. So, and keep your eyes closed throughout the process and take a few just normal breaths in and out the nose and just come back into the realm you were once familiar with and see how you feel. You'll experience tingling and stuff, which is not natural, it's normal, but trust the process and commit. The more you commit, the more you're going to feel something. Just be hyper aware that you can faint and you can spasm. I'll try and find a video of when that happened to me because I was filming it, and I'll show it at the end, so stay tuned. You might get to see me spasm, and I actually suffered a pretty gnarly head concussion from that. It was crazy. Anyway, I'm going to do a round, typically do about 2 to 3 rounds. You can do as many rounds as you want, but I like doing about 2 or 3. So I'll do a round for you. So I'm going to relax into this. No rush to get going, just feel the environment. Here we go. Inhale in. Exhale. It takes me a minute. It's really intense. I had a really intense one just then, so it usually takes me a minute to like come back, but fuck me. Note that sometimes, this is for me anyway, sometimes it can hurt my head, just ever so slightly. It just feels like a little bit of like a knot in my brain. Especially from clenching so hard. So maybe in this next round, I'm not going to clench as hard. I just feel so clear after doing it. Let's do round 2. And I'm going to voice over what I'm doing and maybe you can follow along. So we're going to relax for a second before we start, get into a good place. I'm going to take a big inhale in, 3 steps, breath of fire. Get all of the air out, push it all out. Sometimes it helps to make a little bit of a noise at the very end. If a noise comes out like this, then you still had a little bit of air left. You don't have to hold this for too long. I like to, just to massage the vagus nerve. Take a big inhale in, 3 stages. Begin. Sometimes I like to turn my head, move the mouth to get each nostril. Have the hands up, sometimes helps. I've seen Troy Casey do this pumping thing with his limbs, which helps me. Inhale, hold. Roll your shoulders back. Squeeze your head, your chest, your core, and the taint. And just relax. Exhale out in your own time. Keep your eyes closed. Feel your body right now. What does it feel like? Without answering the question, just be aware of it. Afterwards, if you feel like you need to, when you keep your eyes closed, feel your heart and feel the clarity of breath. Your heart's going to be beating quite hard because you've just pumped so much oxygen into your body. But that compared with having such a clear passage for air, and from clearing your nose as well, your nasal cavity, makes you breathe a lot slower. So I'd recommend taking really slow inhales. So this is how long I'm inhaling for. That's 1 inhale. And that slows the heart rate down, because the common misconception with breath is that you take the biggest breath you can in and you fill your lungs with air, right? So you go, go for it.
Is this my opportunity to get on the...
Do it, go on.
Yay!
Hey!
Josh can run #1 boy out.
But actually, if you want to have the best O2 uptake, you don't, in the blood, you don't just fill your... as quickly as you can. What you do is you take really slow inhales, and another breath work you can do, or breath play you can do to practice this is, I can't remember what it's called, but it's where you do 1 minute inhaling and 1 minute exhaling. So you do it really slowly. So like, you don't have to get all your air out, just get to a relaxed place and you inhale for a minute, really slowly through the nose, out the nose. So. I'm not going to do the whole minute, but you get the point. And what you're doing there is you're feeding constant oxygen to your lungs, and it's dissipating out your lungs more. Just the same as if you're smoking, say weed, let's say as an example, if you hold the weed in your lungs longer, it dissipates through the lungs longer. This, you're constantly bringing in oxygen. Instead of having to do a gas exchange and then CO2 is released, you're just constantly taking in oxygen. So when your heart rate's going, and this is a really good tip you can use if you just suffer from anxiety, you just breathe slower. It sounds very basic, but you could do the square breathing pattern where you breathe in for 5, hold for 5, exhale for 5 seconds, and hold for 5 and repeat. And that trains your body to slow your breath down instead of breathing fast and shallow.
Nick, don't go in there for about 40 to 45 minutes.
I'll do some breath work in there. So that's Bhastrika, is what it's called. It's quite intense, so... Sorry guys, my phone cut out for some reason. So just be careful. Do it when someone's around you. Make sure you've got some pillows there. Let me know your experience. I have an Instagram channel. It's at standing_in_Nicolas. And I post some stuff on my story sometimes, so it'd be great to have you guys there and follow me along on my journey. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video of me spazzing out. Stay tuned for the next video. Peace and love. That's why you need to get soft stuff around you. Oh, fuck me, my head.